Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. I'll let y'all climb on in here and give y'all a spiel, a little gist of what's going on. Go to my email. Yeah, climb on in, climb on in, climb on in. Where's it? And so what I'm gonna do is, since they don't want us to play the video, and I'm not, you know, I'm not savvy on all the fair use policies and all of that. You know, really don't do all that. But what I'm gonna do is share this link, and y'all click this link, and y'all going, you know what I mean, watch this video. But a quick rundown, like the Bruce said on the last video, the first video, the guy, uh, he basically is an investigative filmmaker, and his belief in the Bible led him to go and do this investigation on if Moses wrote the Pentateuch, or the 5 books of the Torah, which we know is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. So after hearing scholars try to debunk and say that, you know, Moses didn't write the Torah, it was written by multiple authors and all of that, so he went and did his investigation, and he interviewing biblical scholars, evangelists, and archaeologists, and, you know, a whole slew of scholars. And you know, some of them like, yeah, he wrote it. Some of them like, no, he didn't. And excuse me. And basically, so he was like, you know, let's see if he had the tools and the language to write the Hebrew Bible. Long story short, he did. He found out, and he came to the conclusion that yes, Moses wrote the Torah. He wrote it in a time to where he was able to write it, and he had all the instruments and the tools to write it. Now, us in the belief, you know, with the knowledge given by the Most High, the understanding given by the Most High, right? We know and understand that the Most High is all powerful. He created all languages. He created everything in existence. So it is not impossible for Moses to learn while he's up in the mount for 80 days a language, and the ability to write all that he wrote. It's not impossible. It's not impossible. You know, somebody can write one book in 24 hours. He was up there 40 days twice. And a lot of people think that he only received 10 commandments while he was up there twice. No. No. All right. So, y'all go watch that, man. Waiting on my brother to get back. He had a emergency. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through these scriptures that I got real fast and expedient like. All right. So if y'all in here with me, man, put some sevens in. You know, it's all good. The enemy don't want this information to get out. They don't want this information to get out. So any way we can get the truth out, that's how we gonna get it. All right. Y'all see the link in the chat. Click that link. You know what I mean? Follow the instructions. It's free. It's free information. All you gotta do is get them your email. Once you put your email in, you ain't gotta submit to nothing else. Click submit at the bottom of the screen, and boom, you'll get an email with your link. And then you click that link, and it leads you directly to the video. And you can watch it. It's about an hour or 58 minutes long, something like that. All right. So the first spot I want to go to is the book of Exodus. Exodus chapter 20, I think it is 4. Exodus 24. Exodus 24. And I'm going to start at verse 1. And he eyes, yes, eyes. Hallelujah. All right. Exodus 24 and verse 1, it says, and he said unto Moses, come up unto the Most High, thou and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Most High, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Most High and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words which the Most High hath said will we do. And remember that the forefathers came into an agreement and said, all that the Most High have said will we do. We got to make that same confession. All that the Most High have said will we do. All right. Continue. Verse 4. And Moses wrote all the words of the Most High, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings and of oxen unto the Most High. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basins, and half the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all that the Most High have said will we do, and be obedient. And Moses took the blood of the and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Most High have made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron and Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders. And they saw the Elohim of Israel, and there was under his feet as it were a paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw Yah, and did eat and drink. And the Most High said unto Moses, come up to me into the mount and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them. Now we see in verse 4, right, that Moses wrote all the words of the Most High in a book, and it is called the Book of the Covenant. And he said, made sacrifice, built an altar, made sacrifices, peace offerings, burnt offerings, right? And then he took half of the blood from those burnt offerings and peace offerings and sprinkled it on the book of the covenant. And then he sprinkled the other half on the altar, right? Now in verse 12, the Most High is telling Moses to come up to him into the mountain. And the Most High is going to give Moses 2 tables of stone that contain the law, the commandments, which the Most High has written. So those 2 tables of stone that are inside the Ark of the Covenant to this day are written with the finger of Yah. All right, about to read this. Verse 13. And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses went up into the mount of Yah. And he said unto the elders, tarry ye here for us until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matters to do, let him come unto them. And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of the Most High abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the 7th day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud, and the sight of the glory of the Most High was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went into the cloud, into the midst of the cloud, and got him up into the mount. And Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. Right? Now, we can't just sit here and be simple and say Moses was up in the mount 40 days and 40 nights and only got 10 commandments. That's silly. That's just super silly. He only got 10 commandments in 40 days and 40 nights. When you can write, I don't know how much in 24 hours. 24 hours. Some people, even in their collegiate courses, write essays within hours. Whole essays, 10 page, 20 page, however long essays within hours. This man was up with the Most High, the creator of time, 40 days and 40 nights, and only got 10 commandments. He got way more than that. He got shown way more than that, and he got way more knowledge than what people perceive him to have gotten. Like, stop playing with the Most High. And stop playing with his servant. Because if you saying these divinely inspired words weren't written by the servant of the Most High, then what are you saying about the Most High? What are you saying about his servant? All right, hold on. Let me send this invite to my brother so he can come in when he so deems it necessary. All right, you got that link, Hebrew. Whenever you ready. All right. So, right, that's one account. Moses. Yeah. Moses wrote. Moses wrote all the words of the Most High. Right? Let's go to Numbers. Let's go to the book of Numbers. Because it's all throughout the Torah evidence that Moses wrote. Right? All you gotta do is study. Just get in the book, slow down, have some what they call it when you have lots of energy. Have some stamina. Build you up some stamina, right? So you won't get tired and pass out and fall asleep while you read, right? Build you up some stamina. Slow down and read the word. And the Most High, pray for that understanding, but the Most High will reveal it. He'll reveal it unto you. If you want to understand it, He will give it to you. But if you're looking for contradictions and a way to disbelieve His word, He gonna get it to you too. You gotta pick a side. He told you, choose ye this day. All right. Numbers chapter 33, and we're gonna start at verse 1. All right. Of course, y'all know the book of Numbers. This is, the people's journey from the wilderness to the land of Israel. And Moses only made it so far. He didn't get to cross over the River Jordan. He made it to the River Jordan and got to go up into the mount and see the heritage of the people. But he couldn't go up into the land because, you know, stiff-necked Israel. And, yeah, yeah. He was dealing with a lot of stiff-necked, loudmouth Israelites. Don't allow your people to make you strike the rock. All right. Numbers chapter 33. Numbers chapter 33 and verse 1. Right? It says, these are the journeys of the children of Israel which went forth out of the land of Egypt with their armies under the hand of Moses and Aaron. And Moses wrote their goings out according to their journeys by the commandment of the Most High. So Moses is not doing all this writing on his own recognizance. He ain't just coming to, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna write me a testimony today. Yeah, okay. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm gonna write me a book. Now he's under the commandments of the Most. Look, go write this down. Moses, come here, come up here with me. Write all this down. Everything I tell you, write this down. Right? And we're gonna see that when we get to the book of Jubilees. All right. So Moses wrote all the goings out of the children of Israel on their journey to the land of Israel from the wilderness. Right? Let's go to another spot. Devarim, or Deuteronomy, chapter 31. And we're going to read all this. Deuteronomy, chapter 31. What's the matter? Don't put your name, man. No. All right, Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 1. It says, and Moses went and spake these words unto all Israel, and he said unto them, I am 120 years old this day. I can no more go out and come in. Also, the Most High hath said unto me, thou shalt not go over this Jordan. The Most High thy power, He will go over before thee, and He will destroy these nations from before thee. And thou shalt possess them, and Joshua, he shall go over before thee, as the Most High hath said. And the Most High shall do unto them as He did to Sihon and Og, kings of the Amorites, and unto the land of them whom He destroyed. And the Most High shall give them up before your face, that ye may do unto them according unto all the commandments which I have commanded you. Y'all forgive my little man back there. He might be in the Ruach right now. All right, verse 6 says, Be ye strong, or be strong and of a good courage, and fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Most High thy power, he it is that doeth go with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Always keep that in your mind. Are you a servant of the Most High? Are you a child of Israel? He told you right here, be strong and of a good courage, and fear not the people. Don't be afraid of them, because the Most High goes before you, and he will not forsake you, and it is him that fights for you. Be strong. All right. Verse 7. And Moses called unto Joshua and said unto him in the sight of all Israel, Be strong and of a good courage, for thou must go with this people unto the land which the Most High hath sworn unto their fathers to give them, and thou shalt cause them to inherit it. And the Most High, he it is that doth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. And Moses wrote this law and delivered it unto the priests, the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, and unto all the elders of Israel. So we go again. Moses right. So Moses is the high priest, and Aaron is the high priest, and Moses is the scribe and the prophet. Safe to say, speculating, speaking as a man. All right. Verse 10. And Moses commanded them, saying, At the end of every 7 years, in the solemnity of the year of release, in the Feast of Tabernacles, when all Israel is come to appear before the Most High thy power, in the place which he shall choose, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. Mm. So we should be reading this law in all the ears of the people, in our congregations, in our camps, wherever we congregating it, however we doing the Feast of Tabernacle, we should be reading this law in the ears of the people. All right, keep that in mind, because Tabernacles is coming up. All right, verse 12. Gather the people together, men and women and children, and thy stranger that is within thy gates, that they may hear and that they may learn and fear the Most High your Elohim, and observe to do all the words of this law, and that their children which have not known anything may hear and learn to fear the Most High your power, as long as ye live in the land whither ye go over Jordan to possess it. Now, just because it said as long as you live in the land, don't mean stop serving the Most High because you don't live in the land. You serve him wherever you go, in all places that you travel, in all places that you scatter. All right. Verse 14. And the Most High said unto Moses, Behold, thy days approach that thou must die. Call Joshua and present yourselves in the tabernacle of the congregation, that I may give him a charge. And Moses and Joshua went and presented themselves in the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Most High appeared in the tabernacle in a pillar of a cloud, and the pillar of the cloud stood over the door of the tabernacle. And the Most High said unto Moses, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land whither they go to be amongst them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our Elohim is not amongst us. Mm. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought, in that they are turned unto other gods. Now therefore write ye this song for you. Now therefore write ye this song for you. There you go. Moses being commanded to write again. Write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel, and put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, that floweth with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten and filled themselves and waxen fat, then will they turn unto other gods and serve them, and provoke me and break my covenant. And it shall come to pass, when many evils and troubles are befallen them, that this song shall testify against them as a witness, for it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination which they go about even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swear. So the Most High know if you fake it. He know if you sincere, right? He know it. Can't pull the wool over his eyes. That's all I'm gonna say. You might fool the people of your congregation, or the people of your household, or whatever, the friends, your co-workers at work, or your buddies at the gym, or whatever, people at the store. You might fool them, but you're not fooling the Most High. He can't be tricked, right? All right. So you're gonna get found out. Be sincere or be not at all. Just go and get out the way. Because if you faking and you being a hypocrite, your end is fire anyway. Whether you whether you think you're gonna make it or not, your end is fire. If you fake, thou hypocrite, thou worker of iniquity. He gonna tell you, depart from me. I know thee not. All right. So be sincere in spirit and in truth. All right. Uh, verse 22. And Moses therefore wrote this song the same day. Song the same day. Y'all musicians know how it is. You know what I mean? The Most High give you something, you write a whole song that same day. So Moses got this from the Most High and wrote this song the same day. Right? And taught it the children of Israel. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge and said, be strong and of a good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swear unto them, and I will be with thee. And it came to pass, when Moses had made an end of the writing the words of this law in a book until they were finished, that Moses commanded the Levites which bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, saying, take this book of the law and put it in the side of the ark of the covenant of the Most High your Elohim, that it may be there for a witness against thee. For I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. Behold, while I am yet alive with you this day, ye have been rebellious against the Most High. And how much more after my death? Gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears, and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death ye will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because ye will do evil in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moses spake in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended. I mean, there you have it. I mean, you ain't gonna say it again? All right. Before we go to the Jubilees, let's go to Joshua chapter 8. Joshua chapter 8, I ain't gonna read this whole verse, this whole chapter, right? Joshua chapter 8, and now this is when Joshua and the children of Israel, defeated the king of Ai or A or AI, whatever. Y'all hear her back there? I mean, yeah. So this is what Joshua chapter 8 is when Joshua defeated the king of Ai or I or however you say that, right? And you know where we're gonna read from is where after the victory, Joshua builds an altar and offers sacrifice to the Most High, and then he reads something, and he wrote something. Mm, interesting. All right, Joshua chapter 8, and I'm gonna start at verse 30. Then Joshua built an altar unto the Most High Yah, the power of Israel, in Mount Ebal. And Moses, the servant of the Most High, commanded the children of Israel, as it is written in the book of the law of Moses, an altar of whole stones, over which no man hath lift up an iron. Right? Let's go read this. Where he get that from? Right? Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. Right? Exodus chapter 20 and verse 24. Right? It says, I'm starting 22. And the Most High said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. You know, I was gonna say nothing. I said I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you know, just let that be where it is, right? Let that be where it is. But that's there, right? And altar of earth shall you build to the Most High and sacrifice your burnt offerings and your peace offerings, your sheep, your oxen, and your calves, turtle doves, and all of that, right?
I'm
And,
back, Hebrew.
yes, sir.
I'm back.
Okay. All right. Verse 25 it says, "And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone," so if you make an altar of stone, which we ain't building no altars because we don't really know how. We haven't been given the understanding, right? But this talking about the people who build the altars, right? If thou shalt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it with hewn stone, for if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. So this is what Joshua is recalling that is written in the book of in the book of the law of Moses, right? It says right here, an altar of whole stones, over which no man hath lift up any iron, right? That's how Joshua is building his altar, right? And they offered their own burnt offerings unto the Most High and sacrificed peace offerings. Boy, I wonder since. Never mind. All right, that's neither here nor there. All right.
No, speak on it. Speak on it. Speak on it.
I'm just saying like where I'm trying to figure out where they get these these things to offer sacrifices of peace offerings and burnt offerings if they just kept a meatless Passover.
I mean, bro. Oh man, you already know. In Exodus 10. Why is Moses telling Pharaoh, let us go so that we may go sacrifice unto our God?
Yeah. And look,
Moses, so even coming out of Egypt, Moses knew that they would worship the Most High through sacrifice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's powerful because Pharaoh wanted to keep the cattle
Uh-huh.
and the little ones. He like Moses like nah, cause we don't know how we gonna like what he gonna require of us. If he gonna require all our bulls, all our goats, all our sheep, or if he gonna
Mm-hmm.
require one of each. We don't know. So we gotta take everything with us.
Yeah, yeah. I believe that's Exodus 5, Exodus 3. It's in there a few times where he say that we may go sacrifice to our God. And I believe the junk you talking about where he mentioned the cattle, that's in Exodus 10, if I ain't
That's Exodus,
mistaken.
yeah, that's Exodus 10.
Yep. So he had knowledge that sacrifices a sacrificial system was coming. He might not have had every minute detail at that time when he was talking to Pharaoh,
Right,
but he knew that much.
right. Hallelujah. All
Hallelujah.
right. All right, verse 32. It says, and he wrote thereupon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. Right? So now in that documentary, you got one of those scholars saying like all the first five books of Moses they were written during the Persian captivity. Right? And we're gonna get into that. Right? They saying excuse me, that the Torah, the Pentateuch, wasn't written until the Persian captivity. But right here, Moses crossing the River Jordan, defeating the king Ai after the fall of Jericho, right, is writing a copy of the law of Moses way before Persia, way before Persia. So who wrote this law of Moses that Joshua is copying, right? It says, and he wrote thereupon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side the ark and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which, I mute your mic, Hebrew.
My bad, bro.
Now you good. All right, I'm going to start 33 from the top. And all Israel and their elders and officers and their judges stood on this side the ark and on that side before the priests, the Levites, which bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, as well the stranger as he that was born among them, half of them over against the Mount Gerizim, and half of them over against Mount Ebal, as Moses, the servant of the Most High, had commanded before, that they should bless the people of Israel. And afterward, he read all the words of the law. All the words of the law. The blessings and cursings according to all that is written in the book of the law. Now, where he couldn't have just read Leviticus 26 and Deuteronomy 28 because that ain't the only place that curses are found. That ain't the only places that blessings are found. So he read every word that is written in the law, the blessings that will come upon Israel and the curses that will come upon Israel. The blessings if they obey, the curses if they don't. Right? All right. Verse 35. There was not a word. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded, which Joshua read not before all the congregation of Israel with the women and the little ones and the strangers that were conversing among them. Mm. There was not any word of all that Moses commandment that Joshua didn't read. Mm. Mm. All right. Now let's go over here to where the first commandment of Joshua of Moses writing was given. I ain't gonna say the
Hey,
first commandment.
hey, I got something to like say. Like, if you say the first five books was written by somebody else, right? The Bible is a history book as well. So if these people came at a later time and wrote about the Exodus, then the
Mm.
Exodus really didn't happen in history.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? If these people came at a later time and wrote about um, the fall of Jericho and crossing the River Jordan, that really didn't happen then. That's
Right.
just something that they came years later and made up. The flood never happened. The Epic of Gilgamesh, that don't mean nothing.
Right.
Noah, you know what I'm saying? All this is made up if that's the case, bro.
Mm. Yeah. Cause Persia is after Babylon, right?
Yeah.
And Babylon is what, almost 1,000 years after Moses.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, just give or take, like at least
Yeah.
1,000,
Yeah.
right? So if somebody, uh, at least let's just say 16, 1,700 years later, during the Persian captivity, come and wrote the Torah with no account of the Exodus or the flood or nothing like that, like
How
how,
would you even know who Abraham is?
how, like
That's
how?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, this don't even make sense, bro.
Yeah, how? Just how? Say how, baby? How?
Look, how would you know who Abraham? How would you know who Judah was?
Come on, man.
I mean, how would you know what the tribe of Judah is without the first five books?
Without the first five books, and then how you gonna debunk that saying somebody else wrote it when historically, like the ark is being found,
Fact,
chariots being still being found at the bottom of the Red Sea. Uh
facts,
uh Man, the true Mount Sinai still look like it. It got burn marks and all of that.
facts.
Like, so how? Like, how?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So all they came and made Moses up. They made Abraham up. They made Isaac up. Jacob made up. Esau made up. And if Esau made up, then who is this chief persecutor that's been persecuting Israel for all these years? So you got to explain all that away. And you got to explain to me if Deuteronomy 28 about the curses is made up, then explain this history of the transatlantic slave trade.
facts.
See
Yeah,
that
it
that's
it
yeah.
it don't add. It just don't add up. It don't add up at all.
I'm gonna shut my mouth, bro.
All right. Uh. Uh. Right now, I'm gonna go into the book of Jubilees. Right. This in the Old Testament, Pseudepigraphy, Volume 2. All right. We on page 52, and I'm gonna start at chapter 1, verse 1, and then I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read to about verse 6, and then I'm gonna jump. All right. It says in the first year, in the first in Jada, don't do that. All right. In the first year of the exodus of the children of Israel from Egypt, in the third month, on the 16th day of the month, the Most High. Oh, that's around the Feast of Weeks. Mm, the third month, the 16th day. Anywho, the Most High spoke to Moses, saying, "Come up to me on the mountain, and I shall give you two stone tablets. I shall give you two stone tablets of the law and the commandment which I have written, so that you may teach them." And Moses went up to the mountain of the Most High, and the glory of the Most High dwelt upon Mount Sinai, and a cloud overshadowed it for 6 days. And he called to Moses on the seventh day from the midst of the cloud, and the appearance of the glory of the Most High was like fire burning on top of the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. 40 days and 40 nights, right? And the Most High revealed to him, the Most High revealed to him, who? Moses, both what was in the beginning and what will occur in the future. So the Most High is revealing to Moses the past. He's giving them law, statutes, commandments for the present, and he's revealing the future. He's prophesying to Moses, right? So that's how you got Moses writing in the beginning. God created the heaven and the earth. That's how you got that. That's how you got Moses writing the book of Genesis, right? Before he existed,
Hey,
because the Most High revealed it.
I was gonna say, and one of the reasons you see a lot of people in the scriptures fasting is for revelation. You know what I'm saying? So he fasted 40 days and 40 nights for 10 items
Mm,
just to
I
be
doubt it.
revealed 10 things. Okay, so after he revealed the 10 things, what was he doing for the rest of the time?
Come on, man. Hey, look. Uh, it is said that a 40-day fast is 960 hours according to our time, right? So he could have received 10 commandments from the Most High in 5 minutes.
Exactly. And then see what a lot of people why a lot of people can't get with it, bro, because I mean Moses was dealing with a level of the Ruach ain't none of us probably never seen in this lifetime so far. At fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, bro. Like, do y'all know how it feel when the Ruach reveals something to y'all? Like, it's like refreshing, like a light bulb went off, and you know when it just keep pouring. It keep pouring. Imagine the level of the Ruach Moses had on him after praying and fasting and only focusing on the Most High for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the only way he would be able to know what happened in the beginning. Just like who was there in the book of Jazz? I believe that was Benjamin. That was Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to go up to talk to Joseph, and he had to know so many languages. Or it was something like that to go speak to the king. And guess who came and taught him at night? The angel. The angel came and taught him at night all the languages in one night. He taught him like I believe it was like 70 some languages in one night. He taught him. So when you on the level with the Ruach, look, it's gonna reveal some stuff to you didn't even think you could wrap your mind around. I mean,
Mm,
so at the 40 days and 40 nights, bro, I mean, he was on the level at that point.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? So who is any of us who, you know what I'm saying? Ain't none of us ever seen miracles like at the magnitude that Moses saw, who is us to come 2,000 years later and question if he wrote the book, the first 5 books or not?
Come on, man.
You ain't nowhere near on the level our forefathers was back then. Ain't
Come
none of
on,
us
man.
is.
Come on, man. And then look, like before we even get to smelling our own piss like that, right? He even told who was that Miriam and Aaron, like, look, Moses, my prophet, I don't speak to anybody else. I speak to in dreams and visions, but Moses, my prophet, I speak to him face to face. I speak to him face to face.
You know
So
what I'm
if you
saying?
ain't had the Most High come and speak to you face to face, you might want to be quiet.
You might want to be quiet, and these Negroes coming around 2,000 years later act like they got a bigger measure of the ruach than Moses had. Boy, sit
Mm,
down somewhere.
mm,
Sit down. How you gonna say what that man wrote? Has any of us, including me, obtained the level of the ruach hakodesh that Moses had? The man stuck his staff in the sea. Go
mm,
go go get you a stick and stick it in some water and see what happens.
mm. That dude gonna,
You you
that
you
dude
gonna
gonna
find
start.
out quick you ain't on that level.
The only way that deer don't drop to the bottom of the river or the ocean or whatever is if you stick it in the sand or the mud.
Yeah, yeah. Negroes coming 2,000 years later, man. We don't know if he wrote it. You know how he write about his own death. What is the spirit of prophecy? The,
Come on,
the
come
ability
on,
to foretell of future events, right?
come on, man. He just told Joshua, look, the Most High told me I shall not go up with you into the land.
Yeah.
So he not look. Moses did look. Get up there in this mount and see my heritage and die.
And
Right
die.
there, right there. You're gonna be right here. You're gonna get to the Jordan River. You're gonna go up into this mountain and you're gonna die.
Fact.
That is not hard for the Most High.
It's not, bro. It's not. It's hard for these Negroes though, but not for the Most High. But I'm finna mute my mic now. I'm done.
All right. All right, I'm gonna start verse 5 from the top. We're in Jubilees chapter 1, verse 5. And the Most High revealed to him both what was in the beginning and what will occur in the future. and, and what will occur in the future. And what will occur in the future. The account of the division of all the days of the law and the testimony. And he said, set your mind on everything which I shall tell you on this mountain and write it in a book so that their descendants might see that I have not abandoned them on account of all the evil which they have done to instigate transgression of the covenant which I am establishing between me and you today on Mount Sinai for their descendants. And thus it will be when all of these things happen to them that they will know that I have been more righteous than they in all their judgments and deeds, and they will know that I have truly been with them. There you go. Moses. Moses instructed to write for a testimony against the people when they go off. Mm. All right. Here we is again. I'm jumping down to verse jumping down to verse 12, right? It says, and I shall send to them witnesses so that I might witness to them, but they will not hear. And they will even kill the witnesses, and they will persecute those who search out the law. And they will neglect everything and begin to do evil in my sight, and I shall hide my face from them, and I shall give them over to the power of the nations to be captive and for plunder and to be devoured. and I shall remove from them, and I shall remove them from the midst of the land, and I shall scatter them among the nations, and they will forget all my laws and all my commandments and all of my judgments, and they will err concerning new moons, Sabbaths, festivals. Nah, baby, we can't do that right now. No, can you get it? That's my. And they will forget all of my laws and all of my commandments and all of my judgments, and they will err concerning new moons, Sabbaths, festivals, jubilees, and ordinances. That's how Paul, in his wisdom, right, he was able to say, uh, you know, in Colossians 2:16, let no man therefore judge you according to new moons, feast days, and Sabbaths, right, and meats and drinks and all of that, right, because he knew that through our disobedience, our forefathers' disobedience, and our disobedience, that we would err concerned. We was gonna go off. We was gonna forget the commandments. We was gonna forget the way. He knew this, and he told Moses this. All right, verse 15. And afterward, they will turn to me from among the nations with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their might, and I shall gather them from the midst of all the nations, and they will seek me so that I might be found by them. When they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul, you have to seek the Most High with all your heart and with all your soul, because if you halfway in it and you halfway out, you ain't gonna make it, player. You just ain't gonna make it. You gonna fall off. And if you ain't trying to make your way back, you're gonna be given a strong delusion to believe that lie that caused you to fall off. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. It is what it is. Like, and in Jeremiah chapter 7, we told not to pray for these people because they choose to believe the lie. All right. It says, and I will. Okay, it says, I shall reveal to them an abundance of peace and righteousness. And with all my heart and with all my soul, I shall transplant them as a righteous plant. And they will be a blessing and not a curse. And they will be the head and not the tail. And I shall build my sanctuary in their midst, and I shall dwell with them, and I shall be their Elohim, and they will be my people truly and rightly. And I shall not forsake them, and I shall not be alienated from them, because I am the Most High, their Elohim. And Moses fell upon his face and he prayed and said, how many people doing that? Falling upon their face and praying when they seek the Most High. All right. And Moses fell upon his face and prayed and said, Oh Yah, my Elohim, do not abandon your people and your inheritance to walk in the error of their heart. And do not deliver them into the hand of your enemy, the Gentiles, lest they rule over them and cause them to sin against you. Oh Yah, let your mercy be lifted up upon your people and create for them an upright spirit. And do not let the spirit of Beliar rule over them to accuse them before you and ensnare them from every path of righteousness, so that they might be destroyed from before your face. But they are your people and your inheritance, whom you saved by your great might from the hand of the Egyptians. Right? Create a pure heart and a holy spirit for them, and do not let them be ensnared by their sin henceforth and forever. And the Most High said to Moses, I know their contrariness and their thoughts and their stubbornness, and they will not obey until they acknowledge their sin and the sins of their fathers. Oh, hold on, y'all.
Boy, the little one riled up over there, ain't
Man, man. All right. All right. So we have to acknowledge not only our sins, but the sins of our fathers, right? But after this, they will return to me in all uprightness and with all of their heart and soul, and I shall cut off the foreskin of their heart and the foreskin of their heart of the heart of their descendants. Hallelujah. And I shall create for them a holy spirit, and I shall purify them so that they will not turn away from following me from that day and forever. And their souls will cleave to me and to all my commandments, and they will do my commandments. And I shall be a father to them, and they will be sons to me, and they will all be called sons of the living Yah. And every angel and spirit will know and acknowledge that they are my sons, and I am their father in uprightness and righteousness, and I shall love them. Here we go, right? It says, and you, Moses, and you write down for yourself all the matters which I shall make known to you on this mountain, what was in the beginning and what will be at the end. What will happen in all of the divisions of the days which are in the law and testimony, and throughout their weeks of years, according to the jubilees forever, until I shall descend and dwell with them in all the ages of eternity. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And you got Moses is commanded to write by the Most High twice in one chapter, right?
he? Hey, and then look. So I mean, shoot, if you just trying to kill it real quick, bro, the Messiah quote from the Leviticus and Deuteronomy when they asked him what the greatest law in the Torah is.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So I
yeah.
mean, hey, what is he doing? He quote now is the Messiah quoting from the wicked pen of the scribes? Can't be.
Can't be. Mm, 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 mm. All right,
Just
all
ask a
right.
Negro. If Negro talking about he don't know if Moses wrote the first 5 books, they'd be like, okay, well, what's the greatest commandment in the Torah? And watch that Negro quote Deuteronomy. And then just ask him what is he talking about after that.
Yeah, and then ask him who wrote it. Is it made up?
And why you quoting it if it is?
Right. All right. Let's go and get some witnesses to some people. You know, basically testifying that what they have throughout history, right, before Persia, is called the Law of Moses or the Books of Moses, right? And go to Second Chronicles chapter 17. Second Chronicles chapter 17, and we're gonna read 1 through 9. 1 through 9. I ain't gonna be here long. We ain't gonna be here long. But 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 what says thou? All right, Second Chronicles 17, verse 1. And Jehoshaphat, his son, reigned in his stead and strengthened himself against Israel, and he placed forces in all the fenced cities of Judah. Excuse me. And he set garrisons in the land of Judah and in the cities of Ephraim, which Asa his father had taken. And the Most High was with Jehoshaphat. The Most High was with Jehoshaphat because he walked in the first ways of his father and sought not unto Balaam. Mm. But sought to the most high power of his father and walked in his commandments and not after the doings of Israel. So this is a righteous king, right? Therefore, the Most High established the kingdom in his hand, and all Judah brought to Jehoshaphat presents, and he had riches and honor in abundance. And his heart was lifted up in the ways of the Most High. So after the people had brought him all these gifts and presents, his heart wasn't lifted up to go and do his own thing. His heart was lifted up in the ways of the Most High to be more righteous, right? Says, moreover, he took away the high places and groves out of Judah. Also, in the third year of his reign, he sent to his princes, even to Ben-Hil and to Obadiah and to Zechariah and to Nathaniel and to Micaiah to teach in the cities of Judah. And with them he sent Levites, even Shemaiah and Nathaniah and Zebediah and Asahel and Shemaramoth and Jehonathan and Adoniah and Tobiah and Adoniah Levites, and with them Elishama and Jehoram priests, and they taught and had the book of the law of the Most High with them, and went about throughout all the cities of Judah and taught the people. Mm. They had the book of the law of the Most High with them and taught all the people. What you got to ask yourself, what book is that? What book? Moving along. All right. So let's go to First Ezra chapter 5. First Ezra chapter 5. How long is chapter? Woo, 56 verses. What? First Ezra chapter 5. Let me see if I wanna read out of it. That's second Ezra. I'm tripping. First Ezra chapter 5. It's 75 verses. Woo! Y'all ready for these 75 verses? All right. So this is First Ezra's his account of him numbering the Jews when they got leave by the king of Persia to go up and rebuild or restore the temple after the captivity of Babylon, right? And I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but I'm trying to find out where my spot is. Y'all give me a second. Give me a second. All right. Uh, I know you was not on my leg, sir. Here you go. There she go. All right. First Ezra chapter 5. I'm gonna pick it up at y'all go read the whole chapter. I'm gonna pick it up at verse 47. 47, I'm gonna read read the 49. I ain't gonna read the whole thing. But y'all go read it. Read first. Read the whole book of First Israel. All right, first and second Israel. All right, it says, but when the seventh month was at hand, and when the children of Israel were every man in his own place, they all came together. They came all together with one consent into the open place of the first gate, which is toward the east. Then stood up Joshua, the son of Josedek, and his brethren, the priests, and Zerubbabel, and the son of Salathiel, and his brethren, and made ready the altar of the Elohim of Israel to offer burnt sacrifices upon it, according as it is expressly commanded in the book of Moses, the man of Yah. In the book of Moses, what book of Moses speaks about sacrifices? Book of Leviticus, right? So, moving along, I ain't gonna try to be long. All right, don't try to be too long. Right, this jumping over to chapter 8, first Ezra, first. Hey, hold on. All right, first Ezra chapter 8. I'm gonna read 1 through 15. All right, it says, and after these things, when Artaxerxes, the king of the Persians, reigned, came Ezra, the son of Sarius, the son of Ezarias, the son of Hilkiah, the son of Salom, the son of Saduk, the son of Achitob, the son of Amarias, the son of Ozias, the son of Mimoroth, the son of Zarias, the son of Savius, the son of Bocus, the son of Abisum, the son of Phineas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the chief priest. Now, we can see by reading this, Ezra comes from the lineage who receives the covenant of the everlasting priesthood. He's a son of Eleazar, son of Phineas, son of Aaron, right? Let's keep reading. This Ezra, verse 3, this Ezra went up from Babylon as a scribe, being very ready in the law of Moses. Very ready. So he was a scribe of the law of Moses. That was given by the Elohim of Israel. So Moses didn't come up with this law by himself. Didn't come up with this law by himself, right? He was a ready scribe in the law of Moses that was given by the Elohim of Israel. And the king did honor him, and the king did him honor, for he found grace in his sight in all his requests. There went up with him also certain of the children of Israel, of the priests, of the Levites, of the holy singers, porters, and ministers of the temple unto Jerusalem. In the 7th year of the reign of King Artaxerxes, in the 5th month, this was the king's 7th year, for they went from Babylon in the first day of the first month, and came to Jerusalem according to the prosperous journey which the Most High gave them. For Ezra's had very great skill. For Ezra's had very great skill, so that he omitted nothing of the law and the commandments of the Most High, but taught all Israel the ordinances and judgments. He ain't leave
Omitted
nothing out.
nothing. Mm.
He ain't leave nothing out. He ain't leave nothing out. Right? So you can't discredit this brother right here because he's of the lineage of the priests that received their everlasting priesthood, the covenant of the everlasting priesthood, right? You can read about that in the book of Ezekiel, Numbers 25, Ecclesiasticus, I think it is Sirach, like 45 or 46, right? Uh, due to what Phineas did, right? In Numbers 25. This man right here was also a scribe, a ready scribe, a very ready scribe in the law of Moses. And he had very great skills so that he omitted nothing. Nothing. He omitted nothing. Real quick precept, right? Second Ezra chapter 14.
And now
Second,
my question would be, because the claim was made that you know, the same law that Moses wrote, it wasn't the same law that Ezra wrote.
mm,
So why? I mean, what would Ezra have the benefit for putting falsified uh, statements in the rewriting of the Torah?
right.
What would he benefit from? What would be his reward for that?
Mm,
Because he didn't hate his people. So I mean, and then this how they contradict themselves. They like, see, the Torah that Ezra wrote, what the Torah that Moses wrote. Hold on, I thought at first Moses didn't write it. I thought you said,
mm. Walking contradiction.
man, just more foolishness.
Mm. All right, so this is second Ezra's chapter 14. Pick it up at verse 20. I'm gonna read 20 on until the point is made. All right. It says, Behold, behold, master, I will go as thou hast commanded me, and reprove the people which are present, but they that shall be born afterward, who shall admonish them? Who shall admonish them? Thus the world is set in darkness, and they that dwell therein are without light. So he's talking about, he's going to go as the Most High commanded him to the people that are with him in captivity, to the people that he can physically see. He going to go to them and tell them and admonish them and reprove them, like, look, turn from your sins and turn from your wicked ways. Stop worshiping idols and stop fornicating. Stop committing adultery. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. Right? And turn and serve the living Elohim and keep his commandments, laws, and statutes. Walk in the ways of the laws of Moses. Right? That he commanded our forefathers. Right? Those that he can literally see. But he said those that are after them, who gonna teach them? Why is he saying this? Verse 21. For thy law is burnt. Therefore, no man knoweth the things that are done of thee or the works that shall begin. So he's saying, like, look, don't nobody know, or can nobody can go, even if they're inquirers of you and your law, nobody can go and read it because your law is burnt. Right? Verse 22, it says, But if I have found grace before thee, send the Holy Ghost into me, and I shall write all that hath been done in the world since the beginning, which were written in thy law, that men may find thy path, and that they which which will live in the latter days, may live. Ezra is asking to write everything that happened since the beginning. And we see right here in verse 7 that Ezra had very great skill so that he omitted nothing of the law and commandments of the Most High. Why was he so very greatly skilled? Because he had the Ruach. Most High sent the Ruach. And when you read Second Ezra, you see that he fasted 21 days before he got this revelation and prayed to the Most High to give him the Ruach so that he can write all of the words of the law from the beginning. Fasted 21 days. Now, Moses fasted 80 days, 40 days at two different occasions. And we got 5 books of the law. Right? Ezra's already scribe, very greatly skilled, fasted 21 days, and he got all types of visions and all of that, and was granted by the Most High to uh granted by the Most High to rewrite the law that was burnt. Right? Uh Back in First Ezra chapter 8, and I'm gonna read that 7 again.
And again, if the first 5 books was written later, after all the events that's in it, if it was written later, how did the authors who came later, where do they get their knowledge of all the patriarchs outside of the scriptures? Where do you get details about Abraham's life outside of the Bible?
Mm,
About Isaac's life outside of the Bible? How did they even know to write about him later?
mm. All right, verse 7 from the top. First Ezra chapter 8, verse 7. And it says, for Ezra had very great skill, so that he omitted nothing of the law and commandments of the Most High, but taught all Israel the ordinances and judgments. Now the copy of the commission which was written from Artaxerxes the king and came to Ezra the priest and reader of the law of the Most High is this that followeth. King Artaxerxes unto Ezra the priest and reader of the law of Yah sendeth greeting. Having determined to deal graciously, I have given order that such of the nation of the Jews and of the priests and Levites, being within our realm, as are willing and desirous, should go with thee unto Jerusalem, as many therefore as have a mind. What's the matter? You sleeping? All right, verse 10 from the top. Having determined to deal graciously, I have given order that such of the nation of the Jews and of the priests and Levites, being within our realm, as are willing and desirous, should go with thee unto Jerusalem. As many therefore as have a mind thereunto, let them depart with thee, as it hath seemed good both to me and my 7 friends, the counselors, that they may look unto the affairs of Judea and Jerusalem, agreeably to that which is in the law of the Most High, and carry the gifts of the Most High, the power of Israel, to Jerusalem, which I and my friends have bound, and all the gold and silver that in the country of Babylon can be found to the Most High in Jerusalem. With that also which is given of the people for the temple of the Most High, their Elohim at Jerusalem, and that silver and gold may be collected for bullocks. Uh-oh. For bullocks, rams, and lambs, and that thereunto appertaining to the end that they may offer sacrifices unto the Most High upon the altar of the Most High, their Elohim, which is in Jerusalem. I just wanted to throw that little tad bit in, right? I just want to throw that in at the end. They ain't had nothing to do with him writing the law or, Moses writing the law and him rewriting the law of Moses. None of that. I just wanted to throw that in that this heathen king knew that it was fit for the children of Israel to have things to offer up on the altar and sacrifice to their power. I just wanted to add that in. This just a little nugget. All right. Next spot we going to, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip around. I'm gonna skip down. Skip around. Next spot we going to is Sirach 24. Sirach 24. Sirach 24 and 20. Sirach 24 and 23. Now y'all gonna read this whole chapter. I'm just gonna read this one verse, right? I'm gonna read 22 and 23. All right. It says, "He that obeyeth me shall never be confounded, and they that work by me shall not do amiss." All these things, written from verse 1 on to now, all these things are in the book of the covenant of the Most High power, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregation of Jacob. Now you can find that in Exodus, Deuteronomy, Leviticus. This is what he's talking about, right? Even the son of Sirach. No, Moses wrote the law. All right. Another spot. Move on along. Move on along. I'm gonna read these in the apocrypha and we can shut it down. All right. What I got here? Sirach chapter 45. Sirach chapter 45. Sirach chapter 45, verse 1. And he brought out of him a merciful man, brought out of Jacob, is what it's talking about. This was a run on from chapter 44. Right, and he brought out of him a merciful man which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of Yah and men, whose memorial is blessed. Moses' memorial is blessed. No matter what Negroes are saying or what heathen or whoever is saying, Moses' memorial is blessed. Moses was on the Mount of Transfiguration with the Messiah. I didn't see nobody else's forefather, grandfather, whatever on the mount with uh the Messiah at the Transfiguration. Moses and Elijah. I didn't see Uncle Duke. I didn't see you know I'm trying to think of the country name that we called our grandpops, but I ain't see none of them. Nobody else's grand
My Uncle Junebug went there. I think the Bruce screen froze, y'all. I don't know. Hold on.
I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened. Somebody didn't like this message. Somebody didn't like this message. I don't know. I don't know who it was. They started pulling lines. My whole internet went out. I had to connect
Ooh
this
wee.
on the phone.
Pastor Tom must have sent his biggest Arnold Schwarzenegger built demon to snatch them
Man, look,
wires out.
and everything plugged up over here. I'm like, man, what is going on? What in the world?
Well, look,
That's,
I would have to ask one of them scholars or one of them Negroes. Explain to me who Elijah was. Like if we go to that Mount of Transfiguration, like you was touching on,
yeah.
I would just ask him, man, who was this with Moses? And then watch them go to explaining the Old Testament. It's foolishness to me. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start asking them about a figure in the first 5 books. Be like, well, who is Jacob? Who is Esau? Explain to me who they was. Oh, well, Esau, you got to read about him in Genesis. That's the first thing gonna fly out their mouth. Hold on, who? Read your book, brother. Read Genesis. Hold on, read what? Who?
Who wrote that? Said, who wrote that? Who wrote Genesis? How we know that Esau if Moses didn't write it, if the writer is not credible, how we know that, that's truly Esau?
Yeah,
How do we
yeah.
know we Israel?
Man, what's the real story of the Exodus? How do we know there was Israelites that came out of Egypt and were redeemed? That could have been some pink booty crackers for all we know at this point.
Mm. Mm.
Mystery flavor.
Yeah. Yeah, man, but I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this a rock, and then I'm gonna grab a script in Baruch, read a little bit in Wisdom of Solomon, and I'm gonna let you have it, group. All right.
I ain't really got nothing, bro. Shoot, man, I'm just enjoying the time with my family and my brother.
I'll pray. Hey, y'all can't have that right now. This y'all trust fund. Huh? Can't have it right now. It's trash. Sirach chapter 45, verse 1. And he brought out of him a merciful man which found favor in the sight of all flesh, even Moses, beloved of Yah and men, whose memorial is blessed. He made him like to the glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear of him. By his words he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings, and gave him a commandment for his people, and showed him part of his glory, and sanctified him in his faithfulness and meekness, and chose him out of all men. He made him to hear his voice and brought him into the dark cloud and gave him commandments before his face, even the law of life and knowledge, that he might teach Jacob his covenants and Israel his judgments. He exalted Aaron, an holy man, like unto him, even his brother of the tribe of Levi. An everlasting covenant he made with him and gave him the priesthood among the people. He beautified him with comely ornaments and clothed him with a robe of glory. He put upon him perfect glory and strengthened him with rich garments and with breeches, with a long robe and the ephod. And he compassed him with pomegranates and with many golden bells round about, that as he went, there might be a sound and a noise that might be heard in the temple for a memorial to the children of his people, with an holy garment, with gold and blue silk and purple, the work of the embroider, with the breastplate of judgment, and with Urim and Thummim, with twisted scarlet, the work of the cunning workman, work of the cunning workman, with precious stones, graven like seals, and set in gold, the work of the jeweler, with a writing engraved for a memorial after the number of the 12 tribes of Israel. He set a crown of gold upon the mitre, wherein was engraved holiness, an ornament of honor, a costly work, the desires of the eyes goodly and beautiful. Before him there was none such, neither did ever any stranger put them on, but only his children and his children's children perpetually. Their sacrifices shall be wholly consumed every day, twice continually. Moses consecrated him and anointed him with holy oil. This was appointed unto him by an everlasting covenant, and to his seed so long as the heavens should remain, that they should minister unto him and execute the office of the priesthood and bless the people in his name. He chose him out of all men living to offer sacrifices to the Most High, incense and a sweet savor for a memorial, to make reconciliation for his people. All right. He gave unto him his commandments and authority in the statutes of judgments, that he should teach Jacob the testimonies, and inform Israel in his laws. Strangers conspired together against him and maligned him in the wilderness, even the men that were of Dathan's and Abiron's side, and the congregation of Korah, with fury and wrath. Right, verse 19. This the Most High saw, and it displeased him, and in his wrathful indignation were they consumed. He did he did wonders upon them to consume them with the fiery flame. But he made Aaron more honorable and gave him an heritage, and divided unto him the first fruits of increase. Especially he prepared bread in abundance, for they eat of the sacrifices of the Most High, which he gave unto him and his seed. Howbeit, in the hand of the people he had no inheritance, neither had he any portion among the people, for the Most High himself is the portion and inheritance. Right? I want to read that to show that, right, Moses, Moses had a great memorial with the Most High and with men. And Moses was chosen out of all men on the earth, right? To teach Israel the Most High's statutes, commandments, and judgments, right? It even says it in here, right? Verse 5, he made him to hear his voice and brought him into the dark cloud and gave him commandments before his face, even the law of life and knowledge, that he might teach Jacob his covenants and Israel his judgment. Right? It's just a precept for everything I've been reading. You know, the Most High was really dealing with Moses. He was really dealing with him. All right. Next spot I'm gonna go to is Baruch, if I can find it. Yeah, it is. Baruch chapter 2, and I'm gonna read 20 through 28. All right, 20 through 28 says, "For thou hast sent out thy wrath and indignation upon us, and as thou hast spoken by thy servants the prophets, saying, Thus saith the Most High, bow down your shoulders to serve the king of Babylon. So shall you remain in the land that I gave unto your fathers. But if ye will not hear the voice of the Most High to serve the king of Babylon, I will cause to cease out of the cities of Judah and from without Jerusalem the voice of mirth and the voice of joy, the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, and the whole land shall be desolate of inhabitants. But we would not hearken unto thy voice to serve the king of Babylon. Therefore hast thou made good the words that thou spakest by thy servants the prophets, namely that the bones of our kings and the bones of our fathers should be taken out of their places. And lo, they are cast out to the heat of the day and to the frost of the night, and they died in great miseries by famine, by sword, and by pestilence. And the house which is called by thy name hast thou laid waste, as it is to be seen this day, for the wickedness of the house of Israel and the house of Judah. O Yah, our Elohim, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness, and according to all that great mercy of thine, as thou spakest by thy servant in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. I just had to read that last verse, because it was a continuation from 28. But right here, Baruch, the scribe, the prophet and scribe of Jeremiah, the prophet, right, is saying to the Most High, look, you commanded Moses to write the laws, right? In the sight of the children of Israel. And that's what happened. We've been reading it, right? He went up into the mount 40 days and 40 nights, came down, had 2 tables of stone, right? Cast them down, went back up there for another 40 days. You think he was just up there getting 2 tables of stone? I think not. All right, the last spot I'm gonna go to. I got plenty more, but this last spot I ain't gonna belabor the matter. All right, I ain't gonna belabor the matter. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 18. And I'm gonna read 1 through 4. All right. So if y'all don't know, this Wisdom of Solomon here, right? I think from chapter 16. From chapter 16 on down, uh, Solomon is recalling the Exodus, basically. He's recalling it. And how could he do that without something to recall from? All right. And Solomon was way before Persia. How you get over there? Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. All right. God digging it now. What is this? Some other sickness? Ew. Man. All right. I got 4 verses to read. Okay. 4 verses. 4 verses. Oh man. All right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 1. Nevertheless, nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had not suffered the same thing. They counted them happy. But for for that they did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wronged before. They thanked them and besought them pardon, for that they had been enemies. Right? It's talking about Egypt. You know, the Egyptians not doing no harm to the Israelites, even though they were enemies. Joy. Let me hear you. All right, verse 2. Verse 3. Instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, both to be guides of the unknown journey, and an harmless sun to entertain them honorably, for they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, who had kept thy son shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. Right? The children of Israel received the uncorrupt light of the law, and that was given to them by Moses. Y'all, young lion, speak to the people for me, please.
All right. So yeah, so I don't know exactly what a brew was because I got my hands full with my babies over here too. I'm trying to multitask, family. Where was he? Where was he at, bro?
Uh, uh, I just finished. I just finished verse 4 in Wisdom of Solomon.
Y'all see what I got going over here too. So, you know, hey, we on daddy duty.
Sit down here. Sit down here. Yeah, man. She said put monster trucks everywhere. She said she got monster trucks everywhere in her house.
I bet she stubbing pinky baby toes and everything stepping over. Well, I almost just broke my neck, boy. If I wouldn't have had my phone on me, boy, y'all would have heard some wild hollering, stuff crashing to the floor and everything just a few minutes ago.
Man, look, sis probably repenting everywhere she walked. Monster trucks everywhere. But yeah, that's basically the, you know what I mean, the rundown. I'm gonna put this link up in there. I'm gonna put this link up in there again, right? We have biblical scriptural proof. We don't really need no outside sources to prove that Moses wrote the Torah.
Facts. Big facts. Big facts. But yeah, man, look, every topic we do pertaining to, what we've been talking about these last few times we'd have been live. It's just, at this point, it's just icing on the cake, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just creating more separation between what the truth is and what the lies are. That's all we doing at this point. Just create more separation between the truth and the lie. I hope, I hope we've been a blessing to some people out there. You know what I'm saying? I hope we help to dispel a bunch of lies, a bunch of falsehoods, a bunch of, I know it was probably a lot of people out there was on the fence about this thing after they heard some of the stuff that other brothers had bought out. A lot of people probably were privately on the fence. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds true over there, but I'm too scared to leave what I've been on. You know what I'm saying? So I hope we help them type bros. I know y'all out there.
Yeah. Yeah, Auntie. Man, look, you ought to see them. They,
They wide open, boy.
they, come on. And look, the feisty one, her favorite words to say is, "Stop doing that."
How ironic. The one who need to hear it the most.
Yeah, stop doing that.
The one who need to hear it the most said to everybody else.
Yeah. I'm like, man, come on now.
Hey, now I feel that y'all some of these babies now. Overnight, have them standing right in front of your doorstep. I'm young Lion's daughter. He sent me here. Yeah.
Man, look, early AM. J. Crew fan. J. Crew fan. Ava. Shabbat Shalom, J. Crew fan. Alright, so I'm finna put in here this link again. Y'all check that link out, man. It's some good information. Now, don't get discouraged by them heathens and be like, oh, I don't believe Moses wrote it. Just hear the whole matter, write your notes, and you know what I mean, do your own little research and study. Because it's good information.
Don't pay no mind to Brother Bob in there. He be all right. He don't know what he's talking about. Well, I don't believe that Moses could have wrote the first 5 books because, man, shut up.
As you see that next heater was talking about, based on my studies, the first 5 books, the first 15 chapters are very, very negative. He said, "What do you mean by negative? Moses couldn't have written those. Like, how's that negative? Like, how does that make it negative because Moses couldn't have written?
Moses couldn't have written those, and Broham, and no, I don't think he did it. Man, shit.
Yeah, man.
We gonna slow. It look like we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We got some more stuff coming pertaining to the subject matter and other related topics of what we've been talking about. That's how the Most High got us on it. Cause I wasn't planning on number 1 or 2 videos that just kill it, but it's so much information.
So much information. And bro, what I'm thinking is like, we could just go church father by church father.
Yeah,
one by one by one. How we did Epiphanius last week. This past Thursday. Last week we did who did? I forget that church father we did last week.
Origin.
We did him. Origin. We did Origin last week. Man, it's so much. Origin
We
got
ain't even.
man. Origin got
I still got some on Origin to bring out. I've been sitting on them bombs for a few weeks now.
yeah,
Been
and
sitting on
and
them.
and and my Irenaeus in his books against heresies are like I was at work reading that deal, and I'm going through. I'm like, yeah, I can write this. I can. Okay, I read this chapter, then I continue reading. I'm like, damn, I gotta use this. I gotta use that. Like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
Iranian is on.
I gotta get it. That's one of the. That's probably one of the few ones I hadn't read too much up on. I gotta get into him. I read the stuff you sent me, but I like as
Yeah,
far as this individual study, I ain't too much did a lot of reading on that church father right there. I'm gonna have to dig in him. Probably when we get up out this joint right here.
yeah, he got some stuff.
Yeah, man. Origin got a bunch of good stuff. Bring out one of his little books next time, hopefully, just to show the people some of the stuff he was saying about our scriptures, and we vouching for him, going on record vouching for him and all that. But yeah, man, it's been a joy, bro. Like defending the gospel and debunking the foolishness. It's been a
Hallelujah.
bro. Like I sometimes I forget. I get caught up in not wanting to go back and forth with no Negroes. But sometimes, man, swinging your sword, keeping your sword sharp. I truly forgot how fun it can be. Like I
Yeah,
enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
and
It's
then
fun.
and then taking the little jewels that's being dropped and applying it to your life it makes you a better servant. You know what I'm
Fact,
saying? And
fact.
and giving the people this information. You know what I mean? So that they won't be caught up in the strings of these false doctrines.
Yeah, yeah. Cause should nobody that follow this channel or the Melchizedek channel or any channel they see us on, should nobody be falling for that insane rigmarole, bro. Like if you fall for that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you, man.
Hey.
You on
You
the
were
elevation,
looking,
bro.
you saw the dish and still fell in.
Yeah, that's a
You ain't
pre-K
even
level.
you ain't even blind
That's a
and feeling the
pre-K
dish.
level doctrine.
Yeah, man, like that. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, bro. I'll pray to the Most High. Uh, but we ain't even at 2 hours.
That's crazy.
Hallelujah. I'll pray to the Most High. We gonna cut it off right here, family. And Most High willing, we'll be back at y'all next week with another chop session. Most High willing,
God willing.
until the Most High say stop giving the information, which I don't believe he ever will, because he wants his people to be as knowledgeable as possible of him, of these false teachers and all of that. Like Origin got, even Clement got lots of books warning the people and the followers of Hamashiach about false teachers. So we gotta be on point and on guard
Yeah.
in pertaining to these false teachers.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, man. We gonna handle this business out because I had to go ahead and put mine in another room.
Say, hey, this my oldest baby girl right here.
Hallelujah.
Baby girl.
Hello. Hello. All praises, man. All praises. Hello. Hello. Bruce, you look just like you are. Hello.
They say,
Hello.
right. Yeah, bro.
Oh
Going
yeah.
man. I'm probably about to.
Yes,
I'm about
sir.
to
Hey man.
try to catch me a nap.
Hey man, most I be with y'all, man, and may he cause his face to shine upon y'all and give y'all peace.
Yes, sir. Likewise, Hebrew.
All right, shalom, shalom.
All right, shalom.